Carrot cake cheesecake is the perfect spring dessert, and today I'm going to show you how to make it. To get started, I am going to mix together flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt and cinnamon to a bowl. This is going to be for the carrot cake batter. Once I've mixed the dry ingredients together, I'm going to add sugar, vegetable oil and 2 eggs. And this is a very easy cake batter. You don't need a mixer or anything. A spoon or a spatula is going to work just fine. I got this carrot cake recipe from my mother-in-law many years ago, and it is definitely my go-to recipe. And I've shared the recipe before on YouTube and on my website. For this carrot cake cheesecake, you only need half the batter, so that's what I mixed up. To that, I'm adding finely grated carrots, and I'm also adding crushed pineapple. Be sure to drain the pineapple well. And then I'm just going to mix this together just to make sure that everything is well combined. Then I'm going to get started on the cheesecake mixture. I'm going to mix together 2 packets of room temperature cream cheese, and you need it to be at room temperature because it mixes well. To that, I'm adding sugar, and I'm also adding just a little bit of flour. Then I'm going to mix this until it's well combined before adding eggs. And just be sure to scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl periodically to make sure everything mixes in really well. Now I'm adding in the eggs, and I'm also adding in vanilla bean extract. I'm going to mix this all together just until it's nice and smooth. You want this to be as smooth as possible. And if you're interested in making this recipe, as always, I will have it linked below in the description box, where it will lead you over to my blog, jehancook.com. That way you can print the recipe, you can save it, or you can pin it. I've greased a cake pan and lined it with parchment paper on the bottom. Then I'm going to add about 2/3 of the carrot cake mixture to the bottom, and just make sure it forms a nice even layer. And I'm just going to place the remainder of the carrot cake batter to the side. We're going to knead that in a bit. Now I'm just going to spread it out just to make sure it's nice and even, because we do want this to bake well. Then I'm going to take the cheesecake mixture and just add a couple dollops of the cheesecake. You don't need to swirl it in with a knife or anything. Just add the cheesecake to the top of the carrot cake mix. Now I'm doing about 4. That's enough, and that's a 1/4 cup measuring cup. Then I'm going to use the same measuring cup and just add a couple dollops of the remaining carrot cake mixture on top. Then I'm going to finish it off with a cheesecake. Now you gently want to place the cheesecake mix on top, because you don't want it to mix in with the carrot cake, nor do you want it to sink to the bottom. So I'm just using a measuring cup. You can also use a spoon. Then I'm going to use my cake spatula and just smooth out the top and try to get the cheesecake just to cover all of the carrot cake mix. Now once that's nice and smooth, I am going to place it into my oven, which I've preheated at 350 degrees, and bake this for approximately 50 to 55 minutes. Once the cake is done, it needs to cool completely at room temperature before being chilled for at least 4 hours. Next, I'm going to make the whipped cream. To my bowl, I've added chilled heavy cream. I've also added powdered sugar and milk powder. Now the milk powder helps to stabilize the whipped cream, so once you add it on top, the whipped cream is not going to melt. It's going to hold its shape, so you're able to have it on top of your cake for a few days in the fridge. And I'm going to mix this together just until stiff peaks form. And this is what the cheesecake looks like after it's been in the fridge for a couple of hours. You can see a little bit of that carrot cake peeping through. Now I've added the whipped cream on top, and I am just going to spread it around. I just want to spread it until it forms a nice fluffy layer on top, and then garnish it with finely chopped walnuts. And there you can see the carrot cake at the bottom with the cheesecake in the middle and the whipped cream on top. And this is so good. You will not be disappointed. Thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you make this one.